Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are having a wonderful day. Today is July 3rd. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, the day where we celebrate our nation's independence. And, hopefully, all of you guys plan on having a wonderful 4th of July. Today is also Thursday, I believe, so hopefully everyone is doing well. Yeah, it's been an interesting day overall. Unfortunately, the House budget bill did pass today, but overall, we have some other interesting news outside of that. But yeah, hopefully, all you guys are doing well. We're going to try and get through this one because I got a raging headache, but we'll make it through. With that being said, let's go right into it. Moving into the Trump administration segment today, it's been an interesting day for the Trump administration as he really hasn't done much. I'm assuming that's because of the budget bill, but um, we only have one topic today, so let's get into it. Trump spoke with Putin and made no progress on ending the war in Ukraine. Trump said on Thursday that his phone calls with Putin that he announced on Truth Social earlier in the day resulted in no progress at all to end the war in Ukraine. The conversation was nearly an hour long but did nothing, and within a few hours after the call, Russian drone attacks took place on Kyiv, exploding an apartment building. Hot take for you guys here. I don't think Trump wants to end this war. All that talk in the election saying he would end the war on day one, and it's been almost 7 months now, and they're still fighting. Not only that, but I remember I remember hearing Trump say that he was the only one who could negotiate with Putin. But here we are, war's still going. Putin hasn't been negotiated with, and Trump spent an hour just to make no progress with the man. I mean, he's not a great businessman. We all know that. But, I mean, truly, what's going on here, brother? You were the one who said you could end the war. You were the one who said you were the best to negotiate with Putin. Yet, none of that's getting done. Anyways, moving on to the budget bill, we're going to open it up with some, more positive news before we get into, the unfortunate stuff. Opening it up with Hakeem Jeffries has broken the record for longest House speech. House Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries now holds the record for longest speech on the floor, speaking for 8 hours and 44 minutes. He took the floor at 5 a.m., where he would say early in his address, "I rise today in strong opposition to Donald Trump's disgusting abomination that guts Medicaid, rips food from the mouths of children, seniors, and veterans, and rewards billionaires with massive tax breaks." After his speech and before the final vote, House Speaker Mike Johnson shot back at his colleague and said, "Democrats deliver performances and Republicans deliver results." I really hate to say this, but Mike Johnson is honestly right here. Democrats really don't deliver results. Granted, Republicans don't give good results. I mean, it's not entirely wrong to say that. I mean, they couldn't, keep 4 more Republicans from not voting. And there were, I believe, around 10 who said they weren't going to vote for the bill in the first place. It's hard. I know it's hard to deliver results when, Republicans essentially dominate everything, every form of government. But they did jack before that. They've done jack shit for years, time and time again. Democrats do nothing. They really do not provide results. While Republicans may not provide the best results, but I mean they're doing their job. They're supporting the rich like they say they will. So I mean, at least one party is sticking to their values, to say the least. But I mean, truly, like Democrats aren't doing jack. They need to do more. And if they want to succeed, they need to convince more folks. As to quote Hamilton, you don't have the votes, and if you want to get the votes, you got to convince more folks. But anyways, we're gonna move right on into the budget bill information, as the budget bill has unfortunately passed. House Republicans have passed Trump's budget bill, and it is now on its way for a signature. The vote ended in 218 to 214. All 212 Democrats voted against the bill and were joined by Republicans Thomas Massie and Brian Fitzpatrick. There are many things to expect now. This bill will add trillions to the national debt. It will, to the national debt for over a decade and beyond that. The bill cuts funding for Medicaid, SNAP, and the Affordable Care Act, which will lead to millions losing health care, food stamps, and even the closing of rural hospitals and children's hospitals. This bill reduces investments in education, infrastructure, and research development, and it will lead to job losses in positions that rely on government funding. And it even negatively impact it. It's That's not even all of it. There is almost 1,000 pages of this bill, and a majority of it will negatively impact your life. It's going to cut Medicaid. It's going to cut so much, and likely a majority of the people who are Trump supporters or who claim to support this bill are going to be negatively impacted by it. They just refuse to believe it. I'm not surprised this bill was passed. As much as Republicans say they didn't like the bill, they were bound to vote for it. Don't forget the names of those who passed it, especially the ones who said they wouldn't vote for it. They chose Trump and the rich over the American people. And I know we aren't shocked by that, but we can't let people like that continue to make our laws. I promise when I'm in office, you won't catch me dead lying to my constituents and leaving them behind, because politicians are supposed to work for you. And I will do my best to serve and support the American people as a politician should. They shouldn't be going against you. They shouldn't be harming you. They shouldn't be harming your rights. They should be working as best as they can to support you and what genuinely helps you. Moving on to the final news for the budget, House Republicans danced to the YMCA song after passing their budget. House Republicans danced to the YMCA song after cutting Medicaid for millions and doing so much more when passing Trump's big, beautiful bill. The video shows lawmakers dancing and celebrating to the YMCA song after signing the bill. You, English. You want to know what makes this one so much more sweet? This bill cuts funding for the YMCA and multiple locations across the country. One facility in Houston has already been closed for losing federal funding, and I'm sure much more are on the way. I mean, what a joke. How are you going to dance to the theme song of an organization and simultaneously cut funding for it? Are you serious? Really? Really? I mean, come on, bro. Come on. You can't be doing better things. That's wild. It really is. Anyways, moving on into our other news segment, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was tortured in El Salvador. In a new report, Kilmar Abrego Garcia said he suffered severe beatings, sleep deprivation, and psychological torture in the CCOT prison in El Salvador. He said he was kicked and hit so often that he had visible bruises and lumps. He also said that he and 20 others were forced to kneel all night, and guards hit anyone who fell. Abrego Garcia said detainees at CCOT were confined to metal bunks with no mattresses in an overcrowded cell with no windows, bright lights that remained on for 24 hours a day, and minimal access to sanitation. Abrego Garcia said he lost more than 30 pounds in his first 2 weeks there. CCOT is a human rights violation, plain and simple. Don't forget that there are still so many people in that facility that have been sent there by the United States that need to be freed. It is disgusting, and the fact that people are going to continue to support it is insane. Nobody should have to live through or experience any of this, especially those who come to the United States for a better life for their family. I mean, I wouldn't put a criminal through that, let alone an innocent man. Yet the Trump administration is doing that to innocent people. It is disgusting. It is sickening. It truly is. And the Trump administration needs to be stopped from doing so because we are putting lives at risk. Moving on into the final topic for this evening, Marines have been deployed in Florida to assist in deportations. The Trump administration is sending 200 Marines to Florida to support ICE deportation raids across the state. According to U.S. Northern Command, Marines will aid in the deployment. Marines will aid in the Immigration Customs Enforcement's Interior Immigration Enforcement mission. Other deployments are also expected in Louisiana and Texas. Marines will be prohibited English from direct contact with individuals in ICE custody or involving in any aspect of the custody chain, according to U.S. Northern Command. I'm sorry, but isn't ICE the largest police force in the country now? Why do we need to have the Marines help them when our tax dollars are going to fund them into the largest police force? You know, on a serious note, they really just went in straight into this and even didn't even bring in the National Guard, which is kind of crazy. We saw how this played out in LA. I don't think it's going to be much prettier in Florida, even if it is a red state. But it'll definitely be interesting to say the least. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you're on YouTube, please consider subscribing, dropping a like, dropping a comment down below. Let me know your takes on all the news throughout the day. We're on our way to 500 subscribers, and I'd love to have the opportunity to hit that by the end of the summer. If you're on Substack, please consider pledging your support. All funds go to me. I'm going to college shortly, so they will help me, pay for the things that I need to in college, like food and clothing. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in tomorrow's episode. Later.